Hey everyone, it's Kelly, and I'm here with my first full week of July update. A day or two late, but that's okay. I had grand plans of having a super profesh video this week, but instead I am literally holding my phone because I am out of time. I am packing to go to the Beachbody Summit. There's my suitcase over there and stuff everywhere. So I am going to go ahead and film this before I pack this into my new handy dandy backpack purse that is going to be traveling with me. I'm going to take out the Ollie clip. So I showed the basic setup last week in terms of my index. You can see I'm starting to fill that in. And then my future planning, I still have not added the school dates. So my 2020 months are still empty here, but those will fill in soon enough. Sorry, trying to not be too wiggly here. And then here's that monthly spread. Really nothing has changed here. I've crossed off one thing, but I haven't added anything new here. So that's good. So this is how my daily spreads have been coming out. So as I mentioned last week, I'm using the typical bullets from the bullet journal method, except I am adding a few signifiers. So W indicates work tasks or work events. So anything with the W applies to work, but then the standard things are there. I did start adding in some weather symbols and temperatures, and I do that because on the days that I run, sometimes the weather does play a role in how well I do or don't run. So I kind of like to have that reference when I look back. So you can see pretty typical. Now I did this is not the standard way of threading, but I did refer to a page because I'll show you I have a lot of collection type pages that I added in. So I had a big gap here before my next daily. I also wanted to point out I am using the signifier of the little asterisk by the page number to indicate pages that I'm done processing. So everything has been either completed or migrated over. So that comes from Brandy Michelle Plans. And I just love that tip for when, flipping back through the pages. So getting into collections, I started a spread for a few projects. One is Girl Scouts. I am a Girl Scout troop leader, so I have to start planning our next Girl Scout year. So I have a list of some tasks there I need to do. Haven't started on those yet, but it's so nice to just get them out of my head. Loving it. I also started this running log. So I do put my run on my daily, but also I like to look back. Usually I will tally up how many miles I run per month. I've never made it through a full year of tracking yet. So I do have the first part of the year tracked in my personal ring-bound journal. So I just picked up with July here, and that way I can tally up my total miles for the year later. I did start a list of some craft projects, so I'm working on finishing up. I am a knitter, crocheter. I have cross stitch going now, so I have a lot of creative outlets. And so that also means that I have a lot of works in process, or WIPs. So I'm just starting to track some ones there that I'm currently working on, so I know where they're at. And welcome to my Bujo stencil reference sheet. Now, I bought a set of stencils. I should have gotten them out. I apologize, I did not. But I bought a set of stencils on Amazon a while back. They're plastic stencils, a set of 12 that came in a pack for like $10 or $12. It was really inexpensive. And I had never tried them out yet. So I did want to try them, and I wanted to try them with the pen that I've been using. I'm still using this, what is this? A Bic Atlantis Exact. So this is a fine point gel pen. So it's not super fine, but it's quite fine compared to most. And it's an easy one to grab. So I've been using that consistently. So I did try out this stencil with that pen, and I'm really glad that I did this. It took a while. This was my 4th of July morning, but it was great to see, for instance, these bars that go all the way across. The plastic stencil is somewhat flexible. So I'd have to be very careful if I were trying to draw that box, because clearly the stencil was moving just from the pressure of the pen going across. but overall I can see which shapes worked really well. There were some where some shapes did not work so well, so I'll see if I can point some of those out. But overall, these stencils for the price, they're a great deal. So some of the, like, this was supposed to be an umbrella, but my pen, even though it is a fine tip, couldn't fit in there. So you can see there's a few where, like, the raindrops here you can't really see. So definitely some of them are not optimal with this pen, but it's good to know. It's good to have that reference and that experience. And so I wanted to do this because as I've been in here, I'm not really using stickers and decorating a whole lot yet, but I did want to add some color. You can see I've been using mild liners on some of those headings and stuff on the pages just to give a pop of color. And so I could see where I'd want to one day add a little more pretty to this. So this was a good way to kind of test these out. I'm actually carrying with me this one. It seems to be the most versatile for being one sheet. Not all of them come out perfectly, but they actually they do fairly well. So you've got like the standard errand symbols here, but really what I'm using the most is the weather ones for those weather icons that I'm doing. So let me actually flip back. So here it is. So this is what the stencil looks like, and it's a set of 12. So I love that it just fits in that pocket back there. Okay, so where was I? Here we go. So I also started, because I was using those mild liners, I was curious how they worked with this paper. So I did use a page just to write out with my mild liners. I did note that the teal and the blue look pretty much the same on this kind of ecru colored paper. And so I did leave a page for ink tests. I'm really embracing this idea of spreads where I don't like having one page dedicated to something without the other page. So I just made this mild liners and ink test, so I have room there in the future. And then I went back into my daily spreads, and you can see here I did use a couple of stickers just to kind of make this fun over the weekend. I did add in a heart signifier for kind of some gratitude type entries that I had written in. This is my packing list for Coach Summit. Note, I have not checked off anything, so I still have a lot of packing to do. I'm starting to plan my daughter's birthday party, so that'll be that spread. I did start a house to-do list. Only got a couple things on there, but I know I'll be adding to that quite a bit. And then this week. Now, one thing I did add in this week was a little weekly overview spread. So I did a weekly review and migrated tasks that were still open from last week. Start off those pages as done, so that way I only have to come back to here as I'm moving forward. Now, because I have an insanely busy week this week and was juggling a lot of appointments on Monday, and then my husband and kids being out today, and then I'm going on a trip, so I just had a lot of things to juggle. So I kind of needed this weekly overview to see who was going to be where, when. So glad that I got that done, and then I went right back into my daily spread. So this is where I'm at. I'm really enjoying the method so far. Honestly, I think there's a lot of potential for me to use the bullet journal method long term. I'm still reading through the book, so I'm not going to really comment on the book too much yet because I'm really trying hard to really absorb and process what I'm reading. So I'm still kind of holding my thoughts in reserve, but I'm sure we'll be chatting about that in the future. So that's the update for now. Hope you guys are doing well.